What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Monster Legends. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, we've got some combo packs. We'll talk about those in a second. But some super important news, guys. The multiplayer rush event is on over in this area place. So if you are still doing attacks, props to you. For the rest of us, we're just going to kind of ride this event out and use none of them because that's what you do. When all your enemies are crazy high levels and you can't beat them. Anyways, with that great news out of the way, we're going to talk about some of these combo packs real quick, and then we're going to jump down and talk about the Team Shop refresh because I have gotten a lot of comments saying, you know, hey, do an analysis on Shannara, Shannara's Bodyguard, that is. So we're going to do today. Anyways, first up, we're going to run through and check out some of these offers. The sell offers. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Probably don't buy these. Okay, it's a bad deal. It's not good. Even if you buy all three, it's still a bad deal. Okay, you can pick up 100 cells of a monster by buying the monster itself on offer. Even the worst offer at 249 gems. Alright, and then you can buy 20 cells in Cell Week for 30 gems. So for 280 gems, you can get 120 cells for any monster you want. This is going to cost you 375 gems just for one monster. If you get all three, it's still 300 apiece. So no matter how you slice it, this is not the best way to buy your cells. I mean, it's convenient, yes, but convenience doesn't always mean it's the best. So I'm not even thinking at all about any of this, obviously because I don't have a 900 gem save back anyways. But if I did, I definitely wouldn't buy that offer anyways. Now these offers, picking up these, I don't like any of the deals that have an epic in them because I don't really use epics, and Sir Slumberly blows huge dongs, I said. But Metalhead, he's the best one on the offer. If you want to pick him up, okay. 249 gems, still a little expensive, but I wouldn't buy the combo pack here. Okay, I don't think those two monsters are worth picking up at all. Moving on down, we've got a really solid offer here. I think this is a great one. If you can pick up all three, pick up all three. Varun is not the most amazing denial. He is outsped by a lot of things. That doesn't mean he isn't useful. You can always run that guy with 3 team speed runes to boost your denial speed, and he still has an AoE freeze and an AoE stam leakage that he can put on the enemy, which is still very useful, and a single target stun. So he can be used as a support with 3 team speed just fine. You can actually run him as damage dealer if you wanted to. He's not very strong at it, but you could. I just wouldn't run him as denial. Okay, I'd rather take Timerian as denial over Varuna. Okay. Okay, so there we go. That offer, not a bad offer. Definitely, I would say if you're buying all 3, it's worth picking up. If you just want to buy a Timerian out of it or learning, it's not terrible either. You can go ahead and do that. But, case in point, the best offer that's going on right now is this one. If you've got 600 gems, even if you have these monsters, I would still buy this pack because that's going to give you 100 cells for Voltaic, Frostbite, and Hackster. Okay, you can take those monsters to 100, extract their cells, and you've almost got a rank up for all 3 of those monsters if you already have them. If you don't have them, fantastic monsters. Voltaic is obviously one of the best defenders and attackers in the game right now. He's not like the best, but he's very, very, very good. A lot of people use him. He's pretty overused, actually. Frostbite, an amazing denial monster. Not just good at being a denial, can actually be used in a backup denial capability with 3 team speed runes because of the Arctic boost, the damage boost, double damage to all your teammates. It's very powerful. He also has the AoE freezes and the stam leakages and stuff like that, and stam removal. Very powerful monster, amazing denial. A little slower than some other ones, but still good. And Hackster here, if you don't know about Hackster, Hackster's pretty amazing. Very high base speed, 3476 I believe. His possession of AoE goes through immunity possession, which is great. He has AoE stun, a time stop skill, and then like a hacked with double damage. Very solid monster, one of the best denies that is capable of possessing, and I believe he is the best metal denial monster in the game. Some people argue Timerian. Timerian's really slow and easy to counter. It's up to you, alright? It's kind of up to you. There you go. That's the quick analysis, right? Of the offers, that is. So those are the really good offers. These 2 down here for surezies, Voltaic and the Timerian one, definitely definitely worth taking a look at those if you've got some gems stashed away. But brings us to the point of today's video is the team shop. All right. Now I don't know if it's a bug, but these expire in 51 days. Okay. That's really long, and I don't know if they're not planning to release any new bodyguards for the next 2 months, and that's why that's a thing, or if it's just kind of like a bug, and maybe they'll knock it back down later, because if this was stuck on the deal for 2 months, that's kind of crappy. You know what I'm saying? That's not really great. I mean, it's okay because, you know, it's got some decentish monsters in it, I guess, you know. Heyman, for sure. If you don't have a Heyman, no, I'm just kidding. Do not buy Heyman. Heyman is butthole. I'm just saying that. Do not pick him up at all. He's probably the worst monster in the game. Volray is actually a pretty solid epic, though. You know, not a bad one. But Shannara's Bodyguard's what everybody's talking about. I still would recommend you don't buy him. I always do that with Bodyguards because we'll just take a quick scroll down memory lane here if they're still available. You'll see Ingvar's Bodyguard here. He launched at 2,500 coins as well, and as you see now, he's only 1.1k. So he's dropped in price pretty much. He's less than half of what he costed when he launched, and he's not very great, okay? So this guy, yes, you can pick one up for 2,500 if you want to. He's not a bad monster. We'll get into that in a second when I go through the analysis, but I still never would pick one up at 2,500 just in case they do lower his price, you know, next couple of months, and he comes out and he's, you know, he's 2,000 coins. It's 500 coins saving. You know, that's not bad. That's a couple of wars that you're building up for something else like a rune or maybe a General Ingvar, which I really debated buying. I still might buy one. I'm not going to lie because I need a good support light monster. Incognita's definitely fighting for that spot though. I don't know. We'll see what happens there, but right meow, it's time to jump into the Bodyguard analysis. Alright, so here we are. Shannara's Bodyguard. Now, I'm just going to say it. I think this is probably one of the better Bodyguards that's been released to date. Yes, Nishant's Bodyguard and Dharma's Bodyguard are pretty decent. They're not terrible monsters by any means. They're, you know, solid supporting monsters, stuff like that. But this guy, he's a whole new level in my opinion. So let's go ahead and check him out. First up, statisticals. We always go through, right? So the power stat, 3,432. That's a solid power stat. That's great for damage dealing rolls, stuff like that. Moving down, now this is the stat to really take notice of. 38,906 life. That is a tank stat, okay? Very, very tanky life. Moving down again, you'll have his speed, 3,377. Not super slow for a monster with that much health. That's actually a decently okay speed stat for a tanky monster. That's pretty crazy, okay? Like, I did a quick search on the deal, like, with what he's like at level 130. He has, like, 65,000 life. It's insane. It's pretty solid, but that's... We'll get into that here in a second. Alright, moving down, gold per minute, 155. Bleh, not a huge deal. Books, I kind of added this in here. This is the first time I've used the books thing. I think I'm going to keep putting that in there because it's kind of nice to know. He's in the Team Wars book, obviously, in the Spirit book, which will be helpful. And you'll see why. Moving down to his trait, immunity to stun. Now, some people were saying he should have been immune to possession. He's a magic monster. Not being immune to possession is a death sentence. That's not really true. Yes, there are possessing monsters in the magic category, but there's also stunning monsters in the magic category, okay? Monsters like Uru, AoE stun, learning, single target stuns, things like that. So, yes, he could have benefited from both. He could have, if immunity to possession would have been just as fine as immunity to stun, in my opinion, because he runs into both, not just in the magic category, but also in the spirit category, because of monsters like Tempest. Tempest has AoE stun, he's a spirit monster. Uru's spirit monster, he'll have AoE stun. So those things he does block, and that's very powerful for what he does, okay? We'll get into his skills here in a second, but this guy's, he's pretty nasty, alright? Okay, moving down to his special skill. If you get his special skill, you've probably won the match every time. There's other monsters you can say the same thing for, but this guy is almost on a whole new level. If he gets his special, it's pretty much game over. So let's talk about it. Battle Mage form. Self-buffing skill removes all of his negative status effects, which is great. Not only does it do that, it also heals him by 100%, which is great. Gives him triple damage, which is phenomenal, and he gains an extra turn. Yeah, so if you get this, it's pretty much over for the enemy team. An amazing special skill, very strong. So once you get that special skill, what kind of skills are you going to drop? That's the next question, right? So we're going to jump into it. First up, the Great Anagram Stun. This is probably one of the favorite AoEs I've seen so far. It's not like the best out there, but it's really solid. This is a 45 power AoE with 1 cooldown. That's important to note as well. So very heavy damage. Not only does it do that, it has a 50% chance to stun each monster. So not only is it a phenomenal damage, it also has even crowd controlling capability as well. It's not a guaranteed stun or anything, but it's 45 power. I don't think there may be one out there with a 45 power guaranteed crowd control. I don't know it off the top of my head. Not saying it's not there. But the highest thing I've seen mostly is 40 powers. So very, very, very strong with the 1 cooldown. That's nuts. That is just crazy. Every other turn you can cast that. That's stupid. But very, very solid. Very, very solid skill. Alright, moving over. We've got the Great Astral Cancel. This is going to be a single target attack, 70 base power. So one-shot territory. You know, if you got strength runes on this guy, that's one-shot capability, very easy. This is going to massive special damage, and it removes all positive status effects from the enemy that you hit. Or is that all enemies? It says all enemies, but because it says single enemy on the top, I don't 100% know whether or not that's true. Either way, it's probably a skill you're going to take because 70 power is pretty amazing. So, very, very solid. Very solid skill. Lots of damage. 2-turn cooldown, not the best, but still, whatevs. Moving over, we've got the Mystic Shield form. This is going to give him a taunt, and it's also going to give him a 100% life shield. So that's his tanking move. If you're gonna run him as tank, this is a skill you're going to pick up. All the damage is going to go to him, and he gets double life, which for this guy is a lot of life. Kind of like, you know, any of the other tanks that do the same thing, right? Right. Now, moving down, we've got the Anagram Stun. This is a 50 power, 1 cooldown, single target stun. It is magic damage, so it can be resisted by magic monsters and stuff like that, but still a stun, and it's still a 1 cooldown move, which means if you wanted to, you could pop the AoE 50% chance to stun, followed by the single target stun, back to the AoE stun, and back to the single target stun, which is crazy. It's pretty powerful. I think it's going to be really good. I'm probably going to take it. If I pick him up, that's going to be a skill I take. Moving over, we've got the Arcane Great Wash. This is an AoE 50% shield to your team that also removes all negative status effects. Kind of a supporting move, you know? Not like a crazy, it's actually not bad. 50% shield's pretty big, plus removing negative status effects, not bad either. Can get you out of some stuns and freezes and stuff if he goes, you know what I'm saying? So it's not bad, it is support based. Alright, then moving over one more time, we've got the Astral Cancel. This is a spammable skill with 0 cooldown, 55 power, and it removes all the positive effects off the enemy. Not bad, not bad. Not the craziest power in the world, but 0 cooldown's kind of nice. But I don't think you're really going to need it on this guy with the 1 cooldown AoE and a 1 cooldown single target stun. You're probably never going to have to really run into a situation other than fighting Timerians where you won't have, you know, a skill going, right? So, running this guy, what do you want to do with him? Obviously, as you can tell from his life, he can be run as a tank, absolutely no problem, okay? Couple life runes, a strength rune or something like that, maybe a team speed if you want the team speed, because he's already decently fast for a tank, it's not bad. Now, I wouldn't run mine as a tank, and there's a couple reasons why. One, just because he can taunt and double his life doesn't mean he's the best tank in the world, okay? There's much better tanks. I would rather take a Gersis as a tank any day because of the Mirror and stuff like that, but it's up to you guys, you know what I'm saying? Reason number 2, his special skill. His special skill has so much damage potential, running this guy with life runes seems like kind of a waste to me. I mean, no, because I'm saying if you got even 1 level 10 strength in this guy, if you have 2 level 10 strengths in this guy and he gets his special skill, it's game over, okay? That is going to kill everyone. He is going to butt smash the entire enemy team because he has a 45 power AoE, not to mention the 50% chance to stun on it. But you triple that damage, it's 135 damage. That's huge. That's great. That's not even saying someone else has buffed him with double damage or even 50% damage. So, crazy, 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 crazy. Yes, you could also take his special skill as it's 100% heal all that life back up. That's true, okay? He does make a good tank. I'm not going to say he doesn't, but I think he makes a much stronger damage dealer. And if I had one, that's how I would run him. I would run 1 team speed and 2 strength, maybe 2 team speed, 1 strength, because the triple damage would offset your, you know, the loss of a strength rune. But still, that guy would hit so freaking hard. It would be absolutely insane. So, that's how I would run him. You know, if you want to run him as a tank, like I said, he does great as a tank. He'll work great in that area. I would never run him as support with 3 team speed. I mean, I guess you could, but I wouldn't take him in that role. Damage dealer, I think, is where this guy's really going to shine, because he's going to put out massive damage with a 50% chance to stun on top of it. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it's going to be crazy, but you never know. If he gets nerfed, that would suck, but I'm not going to lie, I could see him getting nerfed, because he's going to be hitting crazy damage. It's going to be nuts. So, for nowsies, if the stats and the skills all stay that way, very solid monster. I would recommend that be a bodyguard that you absolutely pick up, because he's going to be great. Anyways, that's it for this. Let's go back. Alright guys, so that is Shannara's Bodyguard's analysis. As you can see, very solid monster. He's actually one of the better magic monsters for damage in my opinion. I mean, that's just me. He has really good skills. You don't have to run him as a tank, which is kind of nice, especially with that really high tanky life stat. He can really take a punch. So if he does get nerfed, I wouldn't think that's out of the question. Just kind of due to how strong he is stats-wise, and his skills are pretty tough too. So there he is. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave those in the down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you like the video, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button and show your support, and I will see you guys next time.